All right, you guys already know that I do not have TikTok for a lot of reasons, but I do often go viral on TikTok. And recently I was going viral because I sat down with George Janko and we were talking about 9/11. I always go back to that moment in my childhood and how brainwashed I think all of us were by the mainstream media, because there was really, back in those days, I know I sound so old, just one narrative. We were all huddled around the big screen TVs, remember those giant big screen TVs, and we were terrified, rightfully so. A horrific terrorist attack took place on our soil. And then we just didn't question anything that the military-industrial complex did. We just wanted to feel safe, and in the process, we gave up a lot of our freedoms. And I was talking about how I feel terrible for the way that I felt towards all Muslims, Muslim Americans as well. And that was because of the consistent brainwashing that was happening, and me obviously being so young and so afraid, just accepting this narrative that all Muslims are bad. So it doesn't matter what happens to them in the Middle East. And so thank God that we no longer live in those times. Thank God for independent media. Thank God really for the collapse, I would say, of mainstream media, because now you can hear different narratives and you can accept whether or not you believe a Candace Owens versus a CNN, but at least you're able to hear, again, different perspectives. Well, let's jump into this TikTok ban, because this is getting really interesting. I didn't expect it to be so interesting, but it is fascinating. So in case you missed it, the House on Wednesday passed legislation that would ban TikTok if its China-based owner, called ByteDance, doesn't sell its stake in the popular social media platform within 6 months of the bill's enactment. Basically, legislation gives ByteDance two options. You have to sell TikTok, or TikTok will be banned. I want to be clear, this discussion about whether or not TikTok should be banned has been really going on since TikTok arrived and became the new social media app for Gen Z, their favored social media app. TikTok is obviously a fairly new app. It arrived on the scene in 2016, and then by 2018, it became the most downloaded app in the United States. So again, like I said, this was embraced first and foremost by Gen Z. Eventually, one day, Gen Z is going to be in charge of America. So what does that look like? Now, as I said, I've been against TikTok for different reasons. I say keep your kids off of TikTok because I just have watched the proliferation of transgenderism, awful things that are happening, people that I've sat down with who felt like they were raised on TikTok and made some decisions because there are doctors that tell them to take hormones, whatever it is. You just need to be paying attention to where your kids are learning anything. And I think kids are too young to be on social media, full stop.